Hello, welcome back. Next chapter over here. Last time I went into detail explaining the full method, the full framework that I follow in order to construct this map that is currently on the screen. And today I will be going through how the whole statistical or the products, the money side of that methodology was built. As a reference, this is the very rough, like the scheme that I showed last time, and I went through step by step. So I will just go ahead and explain all of this, right? So how did the rationales and how it was built, starting from this economic accounts. Okay, very good. So originally the type of file that we have, it looks something like this. We download from the Eurostat service. We look by this specific name. There are other tables, but we decided at the moment to use that because it was the appropriate in terms of concepts. Right? Here we are explaining what kind of information can we find in here and what do they mean. So the one that interests me a lot was this guy, right? This specific attribute, and here you see that we have a lot of geopolitical entity. Usually when you have only two letters, it's the country, two letters, one number is NUT1, and then NUT2 is two numbers. So I guess it's pretty self-explanatory. The actual table end up looking something like this, so I need to do some very rough cleaning. Yeah? And that rough cleaning in the end look like this. So the information that I wanted to have, it was the NUT information, the observed value, which is the millions of euros, and the type of product. Here, what does each one of these numbers mean in terms of products? That's a very good question. I don't know if this is the best time, but I will go ahead and show you the names of the question of each one of these numbers, and at the same time show you the philosophy that was used to associate to the land use, which I immediately will say that this is a matter of discussion with your peers or literature that you can see, which right now I am not going to go into discussing the literature and that kind of stuff, but this is how we did it, so I wanted to keep it this way. So for example, 1100, which you can see it here, right? Yeah, by the way, this AGR thing, it was aggregated by me. I will say why in a second, right? But the 11100 means that this is with and spelled. That means that later on in the table we have a 1200, which is Rhine and Meslin, and so on, so on. So we have all these products. We have wine, we have olives, we have grapes, and we have the generic ones, the other products. So those were the ones we were interested in. Now, here is how it was associated, right? Arable land is actually divided in two. Like in actuality, when I download the vector information, you can find 211 and 212. but because we didn't want to have much division in terms of the products, because I think it was because we saw that you can have both ways in this. You can find these products in each type and whatever. So we decided to just use 210. Specifically, just for clarity. Yeah, so here it is. 211 is non-irrigated arable lands, and 212 was permanently irrigated. So because both of them end up being arable lands, we decided to just put them together because we don't know if the actual product is being placed in each one of those. Rice, like this is the easiest example of all, right? If I'm producing rice, I need to find the land use or land cover for rice. This is also a little bit important here because, as you see, this was like the most generic classification, and we almost shut down the whole thing for these three. So this is the philosophy of association between the products and land use. The whole idea of the table that I'm trying to explain is I want to have this here as columns, and as in each one of the lines, I want to have the money, okay? So from here, starting here, this is a table that I used in R. I use it here, yeah? With our very good friend, Tidyverse, the Tidyverse package, right? So here I'm bringing this exact table. And the thing was just that I need to group things based on products. And yeah, the raw idea, let me not pay attention to it. But I want to group things in terms of the products. And I wanted to spread the information. So spread is just bringing it into the columns, and the rows, where are they? It's the money, right? So is it working right now? Yes, I think it's working. No, it's not. Well, I'll make it work because it is relatively quick. Now, once we have the table, then I started aggregating based on this table, right? Yeah. So you can see very clearly, yeah. You can see 1100, you can see the 1300, blah, 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 blah. Oh, this is one of very important things and different from the original results. I did not have 1200. So that means that either they stopped reporting or they, in the 2019, they had a different classification or something, which can happen. So we need to be paying attention to that kind of stuff. I think it happened in 2 or 3 cases, but anyway, this is one that was very evident. So you see how I create a table that spread in terms of each one of the columns was the specific product. But if you see, how is this arrangement so weird? So this arrangement is the one who I aggregate by row sums. Yeah. So I can have for each one of the NUTs, I can have the actual products that are being produced aggregated as for the land cover or land use. Yeah. Hopefully that makes sense. If not, please let me know and ask questions. Now the AGR, I added it before because neither R or SPSS or ArcGIS are pretty friendly on naming conventions based on exclusively numbers. So we need to have at least one letter in the beginning of our variable or attribute or column. So after I run this, so I aggregate the money based on land uses, right? I don't, okay, no, I will show the table there. So if I see if I do a glimpse, I see that there's like the numeric values. I see my new columns that I do have information. This table actually looks like this. Yeah. So this is how it looks. And this is what we wanted. This is almost how am I with time? I'm fine. So now that I have this, I still need to aggregate all my money so I can have it, all the money produced in the NUT2. That means that all of these records, they need to go away. I need to have only one AT11. And the way I did that, it was pretty easy with a pivot table, like that, using as reference each one of the records, the NUTs, yeah? And then I just sum the values over here, right? And on the bottom right. And this is the total money produced. This is the total money produced in the NUT of all the products that that fit within that type of land cover. I'm going to repeat it again. In the end, I have the total amount of money in that exclusive NUT2. And that money is based on all the products that can be associated with this type of land use. Now that we have this table, we are able to go here. We talk about filtering the information, we talk about formatting tidyverse, we just saw the pivot table, and we have the classes that we needed. So now that table is ready to be joined in ArcGIS. So I'm going to leave this video here so I can give the next one, I can start showing the processes with the vector files in ArcGIS. That's where we're going to be talking more about the areas and all the pain that is processing and visualizing the vector information. So hope you find this interesting and useful. If you have any questions, please go ahead and write them down, and I will answer as best as I can. Okay, so until next time, see you. Bye-bye.